Hi, everyone. It's Thursday. It is November 19th, and I'm here for our daily read aloud. Today, I have a book called What's It Like to Be a Fish? And it is by Wendy Pfeiffer and illustrated by Holly Keller. And we've been talking about summarizing and synthesizing as you're reading, basically thinking about the big idea and asking yourself some questions along the way when you have questions about what you're reading, just things that come to your mind. That's kind of the synthesized part. You're kind of taking in that information and formulating questions and ideas around the information presented. This book is nonfiction. It gives facts about what it is like to be a fish. But when you look at the inside, some of the pictures, they are illustrations. They're not photographs. So this is kind of misleading. It seems like it might be fiction when you look at it, but it's really nonfiction. And as I read this, you will kind of understand why it is. So we're going to talk about that too. What's it like to be a fish? Fish live in water, in lakes, in ponds, aquariums, and even plastic bags. Your pet goldfish can live in a bowl. You can watch the golden fish slip over and under the castle, hide among the water plants, and glide quietly around in their underwater world. A fish's body is just right for living underwater, just as your body is right for living on land. You can swim, but a fish can swim better. A fish's sleek body is the perfect shape for swimming. Fins stick out from the fish's body. They help the fish to swim. A goldfish's tail fin pushes it through the water. 6 other fins steady, steer, or stop it. And I'm kind of synthesizing that information, and I'm wondering how a fish controls all of those fins. Does it come naturally for them, or do they have to think about that, or they just know maybe how to do that and how to swim? It's interesting. Most fish have skin that is covered with scales. Scales help fish to swim too. The scales are hard and clear. They overlap like shingles on a roof. The smooth, slick scales let fish slide easily through the water. A clear slime covers the scales. Ew. It helps fish glide through the water too. Scales and slime also help to keep a fish healthy. The stiff scales protect a fish's delicate skin from cuts and scrapes. Many germs in the water get stuck in a fish's slime coating and are washed away before they can make the fish sick. Both scales and slime keep water from seeping into the fish's skin. Interesting. Never knew a fish had slime on their scales. When fish swim, they swing their tail fins back and forth and wave their other fins. They look as though they're flying through the water. If you watch your goldfish, you'll see that they open and close their mouths all day and all night. They look as if they're drinking water, but they're not. They're breathing. You breathe all day and all night too, but you can't breathe underwater the way a fish does. Fish breathe with their gills. You breathe with your lungs. You breathe in. Air goes to lungs inside your body. Your body takes the oxygen that you need from the air. Then you breathe out the parts of the air that you don't need. And I know from my other reading and information that that's called carbon dioxide. Fish need oxygen too. There is oxygen in water, just as there is oxygen in air. A goldfish opens its mouth and lets some water in. When the fish closes its mouth, the water flows over the gills inside its body. The fish's body takes the oxygen it needs from the water. After passing over the gills, the water leaves the fish's body through gill openings. For a goldfish, opening and closing its mouth is just like breathing in and out. Fish need food just as you do, but they eat underwater. At feeding time, watch your goldfish flip their tails. They race to the top of the bowl, snap at their food, and gulp it down. They need only a tiny pinch of fish flakes each day. Good fish flakes are a mixture of ground up flies, fish, shrimp, crab, oats, corn, carrots, and vitamins. I'm wondering what in the world, how do they even make fish food? And how does that even happen? That's just bizarre. Fish in the wild do not have someone to feed them every day. Many fish eat tiny plants and animals so small that you need a microscope to see them. Bigger fish feed on worms, crabs, shrimp, and other fish. Usually, big fish eat medium-sized fish, and medium-sized fish eat small fish. This is part of what we call the food chain. Fish are cold-blooded. This means that their body temperature matches the temperature of the water around them. Be sure to place your goldfish bowl in a spot where the temperature will stay a steady 65 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the temperature fish need to stay healthy. And we have talked about temperature this week and reading a scale, and that's really interesting. I know that about 72 degrees, that's about the temperature of maybe like a spring day or a late fall day. And that makes sense because the water needs to be not too hot, but not too cold for a fish. You are warm-blooded. When you are healthy, your body temperature is about 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body stays this temperature by itself, whether the air around you is hot or cold. So it doesn't matter if it's a hot summer day or a cold winter day. Your body temperature is always the same, 98.6 roughly. Sometimes goldfish swish their tails and zip around the bowl. Other times they look as if they've stopped moving, but they haven't. Their fins are always moving, even when they rest. Fish don't sleep as you do. They rest by moving very, very slowly. Fish don't sleep as you do. They rest by moving very, very slowly. Fish's eyes are always open. They have no eyelids, so their eyes stay open even when they rest. Fish don't need eyelids, as you do, and they don't need tears either. The water keeps their eyes washed. There's usually not enough light underwater to bother fish's eyes. Be sure not to put your goldfish in the sun because it might be too bright for them. With a sleek body, fins, scales, slime, and gills, a fish lives as naturally underwater as you do on land. Goldfish swim, breathe, eat, and rest in water. They slip over and under their castle, hide among the water plants, and glide quietly around in their underwater world. And if you want to get a fish, or if you're thinking about it, here are ways for you to set up a goldfish bowl. It says start with a clean 2-gallon fish bowl. Wash some gravel by running water over it and spread it over the bottom of the bowl. Pour a few inches of cold water into the bowl. Place some water plants firmly in the gravel and add a castle or some other decoration. Gently pour in more water up to the widest part of the bowl. The more air surface, the more oxygen will be available for the fish. Let the water sit for a day to become room temperature. That's a really good idea. Now you can go home, or now you can go to the pet store and get your goldfish. When you get home, float the plastic bag containing the goldfish in the bowl to let the fish get used to the water temperature. Wait 15 minutes. Open the bag. Let your goldfish swim out. Your goldfish, like any pet, depends on you to take care of it. It's a good idea to study a fish care guide. That way you'll know just what to do to keep your goldfish healthy and happy. And that's the end of our book, What's It Like to Be a Fish? So as you can see, we learn a lot of different facts about how fish swim, how they breathe, and how they eat underwater. and how to take care of a goldfish. So when I summarize this book and synthesize that information, again, I'm grasping at that big idea. What is the author trying to teach me or trying to tell me? And we just did that. Hope you have a great day.